and this is Train Fever. So we're starting where we left off with the Drumfield to Dinnington Express, the newest thing on the rails. Currently carrying 40 some odd passengers. We're in 2021, and we're clawing our way back to profitability and a bright, shiny future for everybody. Okay, right, good. So first project, I'm going to build some actual track. So last time around we followed the mega stocks as it was making its route, and noticed that you had to slow down as much as 60 kilometers an hour to get round this corner. Now for a train capable of 200 kilometers an hour, that will not do. So I have saved up a little bit of cash. I got best part of 2 million. Pause the game, and we're going to take a wrecking ball to this area and see if we can't improve the speed. Now this is always going to be difficult because it's coming round a right angle, which means that I probably need to start my corner far sooner. So I'm gonna, we're gonna try it out. I've not tried this already, which is always the sign that things are going to go especially well. Mental note, remember you removed the road. Don't think anybody's using that road, but even so, don't forget. Right, okay, so we're going to try and get this. So basically we have to merge this route here, which heads up towards Dinnington, as you can see over there, and we want to get it onto this main line over here. Now we've got acres and acres of space to get it to do that. The question is, in fact, I'm probably going to have to start even sooner. So I think we might end up with a curve that looks like that in order to preserve speed as much as possible. So given that I've already taken it back beyond that road, there we go. Yeah, that looks like a suitable length of time. And hopefully we'll be able to make this work. So this is all about just making sure we don't bleed off too much speed. Is this essential at the moment? Is this, a guaranteed way to ensuring that we reach profit? But see, look, we're still not coming around enough. There's going to be a point on this piece of flaming track where we burn off some speed in some fashion. And effectively, I'm going to need to come in over here. All right, I'm going to try it from the other angle because that's the end where we know where we have to get to. So can I get across the river? Well, that's going to be a yes. At least I would hope so. Let's build it. Let's not build anything. Right. Okay. Right. So we want this to be showing me 200 plus. There we go. There's 200 plus. Right. What does that do for my angle of attack? Pretty much. In fact, we can go a little wider than that. So about there would be quite nice, and that's what, 294, 295. That is lovely. Of course, getting across the river, there's going to be a challenge. Yeah, you're going to want possibly a little more elevation than that. Okay, so if I try and get a bridge in here. Actually, I might take that. I might just. I'll say that's a victory in place. Right, now if I'm very lucky I'll be able to get another one right alongside it. I am clearly wearing my lucky trousers. There we go, we're across. Now the next part of the... have I left enough space to get round here? 80 is not... No, 80 is not... 90 is not going to cut it. Yeah, I've wrecked everything. 90. See, I mean, that's acceptable close to a station, right? A quick drop to 90 on a station approach is perfectly acceptable. So this needs to be at a more, I guess, a more acute angle, and I should have checked that before double tracking it. There you go. Spend a little bit more money deleting the thing that had just cost me a hell of a lot of money. Thanks for that. Cheers. Marvelous. All right. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, in principle that was working. Now I'm also quite happy to just single track this bridge. So what I want it to come along like, I guess like that. That will leave me enough leverage to Yeah, to link up. You sure? No, I'm not sure, but I'm going to do it. Alright, there we go. Alright, so that's bleeding off speed. How's that? 195. 200 plus. 200 plus is what we're looking for. And that means that I then have to merge on in order to get under there, although we can go under the next pillar. Does that leave me enough? That does leave me enough space. Okay, we can make that work. Alright, let's try that. And because that bridge is... Well, I don't think my lucky trousers are going to hold sufficiently for this one to work. I think that is too steep an angle for me to be able to get this across in tandem. No, lucky trousers still very much intact. Okay, we've done it. So remember, we're running a 200 km/h train down here, and as long as we stay above 200, then obviously it's going to be able to maintain maximum speed, isn't it? And that's exactly what we're after. So now, the question is, can I continue my curve? Which it certainly looks like I can. Oh yeah, this is going to be much better. Alright, let's get rid of this bit of road. Mental note, put the road back in when you're done. So the goal out of this is to be able to make more money from the train that we're running on this route. It's that simple. And it's less about the fact that, you know, there was more money to be had, and it's more about the fact that we were leaving cash on the table. Right, how does that feel? That feels spot on. Right, now I'm going to need to do some work on the landscape here, because I've left an enormous gouge behind. Right, let's run this round here. Everybody happy? Yeah, I think everybody's happy. Alright, smashing. This is coming along nicely. Right then, this is splendid. Right, let's just finish this off. I've fully connected that end, haven't I? I have fully connected that end. Right, okay, so next we want to just level this bit out some. I know, you are always... Or maybe you're not. Nobody has ever said, hey man, stop spending quite so much time leveling out the ground. So maybe you dig it. Maybe, you know, you like watching the grounds being leveled out. Personally, I think it's a little bit dull as far as video entertainment is concerned, so I try and avoid doing it. That said, it's never stopped me doing it, so, you know, these words may ring a little hollow. And that's not particularly attractive, is it? Anyway, let's take the little brush here and make it look like nature had something to do with this bank. There you go. Just smooth there, and then maybe, just maybe, that's somewhat realistic. If it's not, it's realistic enough. It just bums me out when I, you know, following a train along and I go like, yep, there's a bit where I deleted a whole bunch of track. So let's get this finished off, despite the fact it isn't exactly the best use of my money. You've only got 500,000 left. Make sure you've got enough to get it into the station. Perhaps finish off smoothing once you've done that. It's important to give yourself a safety tip once in a while. Right, let's merge this back in. Well, link that back up. And I've got a bit of rogue track there. I'll sort that out. But first things first, I need this to get into the station. And I'm not sure who's using this side of the station, but it's... So here we are, back at Drumfield, right? So Drumfield was the first the first track that... No, the first station that we turned into a hub of any description. And we've learned a lot since then. Well, when I say we, I largely mean me. Yeah, I've learned a huge amount in terms of actually making things work. And it's largely about considering, where is this train going to go? Is this the best way to get that train to go there? You know, simple questions, but, you know, nonetheless important. All right, let's... I'm going to run a piece of track down here that's snapped. Largely because there might be a need to switch main lines at some point. I doubt it, to be honest. I think we'll probably be able to run this Dinnington service out on this side, but I want to leave enough space to double track through there if I can. which I appear to have been able to do. That's good. All right, smashing. I mean, you know, as much as it is a little wasteful to use 4 tracks when 2 would suffice, the goal, as I repeatedly say, is to be able to run a heck of a lot of trains. And therefore, you might as well use as much track as is needed to run a heck of a lot of trains. Now, there's going to need to be, given that this is a backing service, at the moment, I think this is, you know, this is another area that's going to lend itself to a much longer multi-stop service. What have we got left? 357? Ah, no problem. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you now trying to slow down? We'll have none of that here. Really? You want to delete all of that? That's jolly unhelpful of you. Let's try the junction trick. I mean, that's not going to make a big difference. There we go. Right, okay. Now, I thought I'd figured this out so it wasn't going to bleed off speed. Get a 180 if you can. That would be appreciated. Right, if I just run it like that, 165. Don't like 165. Now, if I pulled right back to the edge of the bridge, maybe I don't have to drop quite so low. 188. 188's okay. I'd like above 190 if possible. Alright, okay, let's go for 200 to there. Now, this is the outside curve, so that should be able to go a little faster. There we go, 201. And then, hopefully, we can get onto there. Yeah, there we go, 300. Right, smashing. So all of that is still at the top speed of the train we're going to be running down now. I don't need to replace all the signals that I kind of dug up in order to get to that point, because at the moment, I'm only running 1 train. But I do need to check that I haven't just wrecked the route. Let's change it from this. Let's change it to this excitable red, just so we can see what's going on. Hello? Letchworth Signal 5. Yeah, I don't think Letchworth Signal 5 is really part of this route anymore, is it? Let's get rid of that. There we go. So it's going to run up and down 1 piece of track for the moment. That's okay, I can live with that. As I say, we're running 1 train down there right now. And I've kind of gone off-piste with this particular section. I didn't mean to spend time on this today, but... well, no, I meant to spend time doing it. But this is kind of away from our primary narrative. You're waiting for a free path. Await a free path no longer, my friend. You will now be able to trundle along at your optimum speed. And maybe this will actually increase demand as well. That would be a welcome sight. In fact, where can we go from Dinnington? I mean, Harpenden, I guess, at a push. It doesn't feel like it's a destination worth getting to, though. But you've also got Letchworth here, so we can run a Letchworth service up to Drumfield, which I think we're already doing. We could run 2 services up to... up from Dinnington. That's fine too. The cash is rolling in. That's what we like to see. Right, let's follow this guy on his trip back along the new piece of track. So, as you know, mental note. Speaking of which, mental note. Put the road back in. 200 kilometers an hour is his top speed. We're doing 199 right now. There's 200. Perhaps took a little while to get up to top speed there because there's some particularly hefty passengers on board, but who knows. We're going to go flying through here. Why are you slowing to 180? You can go top speed. I just spent time and effort and money making sure you could do top speed. You are a grateful wretch using that as a breaking point. Oh well, never mind. So good. We've got the time delay here down to 6 minutes now. If this is to be believed. Where are we? 6 minutes, yeah. And it's profitable. And it's more profitable. This is a money-making service. Sadly, the same can't be said for our lumber train, which we have spent an awful lot of time on. What free path are you waiting for there, amigo? Let's go and have a quick look. It's waiting for some passengers to come through. There we go. So look, Drumfield Dennington just picked up 70 passengers. That thing is going to make me cash. I approve of this. You're threading through. I would have rather you waited for this passenger train, but okay. We'll live with that. Passenger train ahead. That's perfectly acceptable. Stop being... No, sorry. I'm being impressed with myself all over again for having unscrewed a previously screwed up bit of track. Right, let's get over here and get this bit of road back in, and then we'll have a look at vehicles again, just to round out this this session. Yeah, I mean nobody's using this. We've got an interesting oil service here, taking up to oil goods. Maybe I need to have a look at that. Given that they're running down dirt track, I think I definitely need to have a look at that. And it's running in parallel to the train track, so maybe there's something exciting I can do there in a design sense. What was I doing? Laying in road. Pay attention to yourself. Get a grip on what you're trying to accomplish. Right, let's get rid of the rest of this. Right. And then we'll lay in something majestic as an alternative. So out from there. There we go, that's nice. Let's have a look at the lay of the land. Are we going under or over? Oh, we're going over, I think. How's that look? That looks... No, doesn't look... No, it doesn't want to do it. Okay, right, we're going under. No, not quite enough room. Ah, there is enough room. There we go. Fabulous. And then we'll link you up to this this nice big chunk of highway we've got here, which we'll now upgrade. Nice bit of tarmac, or as our American colleagues would have it, asphalt. I speak international English, me. Good, right, so that looks pretty promising. I'm curious to know why we're not making much cash off this beast. How old are you, my friend? You are 66 years old, and you are not really profitable, are you? Close to profitable, but not actually profitable. And there's you know, there's going to be a lot more of this kind of chasing stuff around the map and figuring out why it's not working perfectly. But we're getting close, and hopefully you can feel that too. You can go like, hey, this is getting closer with every new episode. This is, you know, maybe there's going to be something exciting happen soon. Well, I can't rule it out. I just want to have a look and see how much this this oil train is actually shipping. You can handle 120, but in reality, you actually only need to handle 40. 40? Yeah, that's barely putting in any effort at all. And it's a really short service as well, so actually maybe it only needs 40. So here we go. Right, Harpenden, Letchworth, Drumfield, Dennington. So that's 4 towns that are being served by this one. Any more? Typically, you want, well, typically the more the flaming merrier. Harpenden Oil Goods looks like it's taking its sweet time. That'll be you, presumably. No, you're Drumfield. Okay. Right, we need to look at the, you know, I said we were going to look at road traffic, so let's go and look at road traffic. So I'm getting there, you know, we're gradually getting all of the truck services up to speed, up to date. Where are you? Harpenden Oil Goods is making me decent money, but I think it would possibly benefit from being a little faster. So let's put that next in the upgrade queue, and hopefully it will get there a little quicker. Okay, smashing. Right, Earthling Lumber Goods. We're running 4 of these trucks. Now, I've spoken about this before. Where obviously the additional capacity, these trucks over their predecessor can carry 4 more items of cargo. And the question is, stop following that for the moment. The question really is, are we still needing this number of trucks? Now, I suspect I already know the answer. But we'll check anyway. Right, none of these are carrying at the moment. Interesting. We're going to Earthlingborough transfer, where there is nothing waiting. Right, that's obviously a drop-off. You're going to Junction Sidings, where there is nothing waiting to go to Earthlingborough. Why is there nothing waiting to go to Earthlingborough? If all these are empty, what is going on here? Alright, well, let's have a look. Let's, as they say, work the problem. I want to see something Earthlingborough related happening here. Production has actually dropped off at this sawmill since I killed off one of the trains. Try and deliver more wood. Oh, if I could, I would do. I've tried running 2 trains. You didn't like it. I'm now running 1 train, and clearly that is not getting the job done. Where is this train? Right, here he is, pulling in now. How much are you packing? 39. Well, 39 is not going to do it. What's the turnaround time? And this, I've noticed this on numerous occasions, is that you can run 2 trains half empty, or you can run 1 train that you think, well, that's just going to carry twice as much stuff, and it doesn't. The process drops off. So I can't explain. I don't know why it is doing that. Surely it would continue to kick out twice as much goodness. You know, the lumber mill is saying, you know, we'll take much more wood from you here. And you kind of go, well, I'll ship as much wood as I possibly flaming can. Still nothing waiting to go to Earthlingborough. Maybe I missed it. Judging by this, no, I did not. In fact, is it even coming here? There's a pink line we should be seeing. There it is. Okay, which route are you taking? And is that a sensible route? Hold on, where are we? We're over here. You're coming right through the town centre of Drumfield. I can think of more sensible routes to take. In fact, I'm going to build one now, just to round things off. Where are we? Where's it got? Come on, you should be showing me a nice happy pink route here. There it is. Good. Right, kill these trucks. Because maybe by adding a bypass, things will actually happen. But I'm not going to run 4 trucks up and down here if none of them are carrying anything. And that's that would be a clear sign of madness. So I'm going to try and make a bypass here from around there up to there and see if... I mean, it's going to be quicker, obviously, but we'll see if it actually yields some goodness from this currently erratic behaving route. Do I want to cross there? Not entirely, no. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. In fact, here we go. Experimentation time. If I send a route across here to merge onto there, like that, and then I merge these onto here, is it going to treat that up-down route as the primary, and therefore make everybody else queue to get on it? That would be the desirable outcome. Let's have a look. I guess it has, but equally, there's no way to know for sure, is there? Anyway, I'm gonna watch. Am I gonna watch this junction? Is that really something I want to do? I'm at a loss to explain why we are not getting any goods for Earthlingborough turning up at Drumfield branch here. Maybe it's because Drumfield branch is not what I'm interested in. Yeah, no, I think it was Drumfield sidings. Here we go. Well, show me where that is. Where is... That's here. Right. Have I got myself confused? No, I haven't. I am not confused. Okay, well, this and other questions will be answered in the future, I hope. And why don't you stop by to find out the answer to those questions? Just before I leave, have a quick look in the top corner. 8 million. We are now profitable, and, you know, quite distinctly so. Let's have a quick look at the money, then we'll find some kind of hero shot to leave the building on. Lots of construction going on, new vehicles, yay. We had a very good year last year, 33.6 million, and hopefully we can replicate that this year. That would be nice. But there's still something erratic going on in our profitability. So both railroad and road were down last year, and the only thing that can be causing that is goods. That's, you know, that's the only thing it could possibly be. Still doing 106 at this sawmill. Okay, right. Let's go follow something just to finish off with. I don't know. I don't really know. What should we follow? Little train that could. Okay. All right. Well, I think this chap here is next on my to-do list as far as hefty upgrades are concerned. So we'll finish off here. Thank you very much for watching today. I've been Colonel Failure. Hopefully, this this turnaround from near, if not total disaster, has been engaging. I've certainly quite enjoyed it. Pulling it back. I'm not one to play pre-written scenarios in the sense of like, the former owners of this train line have run it into the ground. It is now up to you to bring it up to... No, I'm not interested in any of that. I like playing stuff my own way and wrecking it in the process and then having to put it back together. And that's what I've done. Anyway, there will be more along these lines next time around. Why not join me then? Why not like this video if you've made it this far, and subscribe if you've not done so already. I will catch up with you all too soon. Thanks for watching. Cheerio.
This